Welcome back to another Phill-osophy Arc episode. In this afternoon's episode, I'm covering the topic of storytelling. Storytelling is a magical and wonderful thing, folks, and it's been lost or losing to time. Now, let's get into the bread and butter of it, because if I don't let this thought out, I'm gonna lose it. Now, from the top, let's go. There was a man who lived alone, and he had but a simple home. He was made of bones and flesh, and lived a simple life, just like the rest. Every morning he'd make his food, and sweep the crumbs to the floor. I know it's crude. And every day he'd do the same. And one day he started making his food, and he heard a gnawing, and it chewed. He looked to the corner and saw a mouse. It had set up a home within his house. He thought nothing of it, 'tis just a mouse. Let it snack. But then, as time went on, the mouse got bigger, and it grew, and drank his liquor. And one day as he slept, he heard the gnawing, while he was trying to be asleep and snoring. The mouse grew bigger, the mouse got strong. And he feared that he'd waited too long. Then one day he had enough, and he stood up. He said, "Damn mouse, I will not stop until you're gone, to my final drop." As he went to approach the creature, he realized it was no longer meek. For the mouse had grown, not weak, but stronger, bigger, dangerous, meaner. Its ears had grown big and large, and hung down by its sides, and he could not budge the thought that this had become a monster, not a mouse, but a dangerous thing. Its nose had grown into an arm, strong enough to push a barn. Now the grey fur was gone, and in its place a thick grey hide had taken face. With armour stronger than a farmer, he shivered and thought, "This is my karma." The tail did not change size at all. It was still slender, furry and small. But the feet had grown, the claws had melted, and in its place hoofs had belted. For it was no longer a little mouse, it had now become bigger than his house. And as the man pealed and wailed, for every warning he had failed to see what had become of the little creature that had come into his home. The farmer worried and he did stress, because he knew he had not tried his very best. And as he looked down upon this monstrous creature, he realized it was something that he could not get rid of. The man felt fear, to run with doubt. He had naught but friends who would help him out. So he went to the blacksmith and asked, "What do I do?" And the good sir said, "You need a crew." The man asked around for help, and someone said, "Craft something that can be dealt. A blow to the beast to kill the monster, to end its life and free the soul." So the man sat down and he thought one and all, "How do I fill this problem of a hole?" He pondered long and he pondered hard, for the conundrum was like a glass shard. In his side it was like a thorn, and he felt just like a weak little pawn. So he gathered materials and a metal tube, a stock of walnut and a single pube, and he fashioned them together and made a gun. He would stand up finally to the monster and not run. He took the contraption, big as it was, heavy and deft, and he went back to the home to confront his monster. Further still it had grown bigger and greyer, and the man was scared. He wanted to run. The creature's trunk was big and large, its ears flopping and massive like a barge. Its thick grey hide scared him so, 'cause could he penetrate it, he did not know. He gathered his courage, steadied his soul. He prayed to God, and all that was whole. He levelled the weapon and pulled back the flint. He sent it flying like deadly lint. The creature was hit, and it wailed in pain, and he felt relief inside his heart and brain, for he'd wounded his demons. He's bested his foe. He began to reload and got into the flow. He took another shot and hit, and the creature screamed, and that was it. It fell to the ground and it hit the floor, and he ran right out of that door. He got his axe and hatchet too. He had a go and chopped it through. Took off its head and ears and trunk, chopped its legs like limbs of a trunk. The man gathered his spirits and drew up his wit, for he had finally defeated it. Now the man realized it shouldn't have grown because he let it so, and that's why he was totally boned. Now never again did that man run away when he saw a mouse like that fateful day. He stood up to every creature who entered his home without his... I don't know how to rhyme that. But anyway, folks, the moral of the story, storytelling and a good rhyme. Now I'm going to put down my Banjo Patterson hat and my Dr. Zeus cap and have a good one and enjoy the moral of a good story. This is a real tongue twister, bloke, bro. This was a real tongue twister and it challenged me deeply. And I had a good bit of fun here. So everyone, catch you later. Hey, Future Racer here. If you're finding the Phill-osophy Arc series inspirational, educational, entertaining, humorous, or it's giving you a little smile, think about liking and subscribing. If you have a family member, loved one, or friend who you think could equally benefit from this series, think about sharing it with them.